pin holders. And for this entire video, we are going to talk about what is pin holder and its purpose, what are the types of pin holders, and what are the tips for using pin holders, as well as the maintenance and storage for pin holders. So what is pin holder? Pin holder is typically refers to a device or fixture used to hold and secure pins, connectors, integrated circuit leads during the assembly, soldering, or testing processes. It ensures proper alignment, stability, and accessibility of the pins, making the manufacturing or testing procedure more efficient and accurate. So what are the purpose of pin holders? So there are a lot of purpose of pin holders. The first one is alignment and stability. Pins or connectors on electronic components such as ICs or connectors often need to be precisely aligned during assembly or soldering. A pin holder securely holds the component in a place, ensuring accurate alignment of the pins with corresponding sockets or pads on the circuit board. These help to prevent misalignment, short circuits, or other connection issues. Next is accessibility. In some cases, electronic components may have a large number of pins or closely spaced connectors. A pin holder provides a convenient way to access and work with individual pins or connectors during assembly or testing, especially when manual soldering or troubleshooting is involved. Next is heat dissipation. During soldering processes, heat can be generated that may damage sensitive components or cause solder joints to melt. Some pin holders are designed to dissipate heat and to protect the pins or connectors from excessive temperature, ensuring the integrity of the electronic component. And then testability. Pin holders are often used in the testing phase of electronic manufacturing. Test probes or bed of nail fixtures can be connected to the pins or connectors held by the pin holder, allowing electrical testing and verification of the component's functionality. Organization and traceability. Pin holders can help in organizing and labeling pins or connectors, especially when dealing with components that have a large number of pins. This aids in easy identification, tracking, and troubleshooting of individual pins or connections. That's all for the purposes and definition of pin holders. Next is the types of pin holders. So what are the types of pin holders? First is the test sockets. Test sockets is specialized pin holders designed to securely hold ICs or other electronic components during testing. They provide a temporary connection between the IC's pins and the test equipment, allowing electrical signals to be transmitted for functional testing. Test sockets can be socketed directly onto a circuit board or incorporated into a test fixture. Next, pogo pins. It is also known as spring-loaded contacts or test probes, are spring-loaded pins used to establish temporary electrical connections for testing or programming purposes. They are often mounted on a PCB or within a test fixture and provide a reliable contact with the test points or pads on the device under test or DUT. Next is the bed of nails fixture. It is a special type of pin holder used for automated testing of circuit board. It consists of an array of spring-loaded arranged in a pattern that matches the test points on the circuit board. The circuit board is pressed onto the bed of pins, establishing electrical connections for testing various circuit nodes. Fixture pins. It is a simple cylindrical pins used to hold circuit boards or electronic components in place during manufacturing or testing. They can be inserted into pre-drilled holes on a PCB or fixture plate, providing mechanical support and alignment. Connector holders, specifically designed to secure and position connectors during manufacturing or testing processes. They ensure proper alignment and accessibility of the connector's pins, making it easier to solder or establish electrical connections. IC LED frames, specialized pin holders used during the manufacturing of integrated circuits. They securely hold the IC LEDs for pins in place, allowing for precise wire bonding or soldering of the LEDs to the package. So that's all for the types of pin holders. Now we're going to proceed on the tips for using pin holders. So we have here 6 tips for using pin holders. First one is choose the appropriate pin holder. Select a pin holder that is specifically designed for the type, size, and shape of the pins or connectors you are working with. Different pin holders are available for various applications, so make sure that one you chose is compatible with your requirements. Second, ensure proper alignment. Align the pins or connectors with their corresponding sockets, pads, or test points on the circuit board or fixture. This helps prevent misalignment, short circuits, or connections issues. Take care to position the pins correctly with the pin holder to ensure accurate alignment during assembly or testing. Third, handle with care. Pins, connectors, and electronic components can be delicate and sensitive to electrostatic discharge or ESD or mechanical damage. Handle them with proper ESD precautions and avoid applying excessive force or pressures when inserting or removing them from the pin holder. Fourth, secure the pins properly. Ensure that the pins or connectors are securely held in a place within the pin holder. Loose pins may cause inaccurate alignment, unreliable connections, or even damage the pins or connectors themselves. Fifth, maintain cleanliness. Keep the pin holder clean and free from debris or contaminants that could interfere with proper pin insertion or connection. Regularly inspect and clean the pin holder to ensure optimal performance. Sixth, ensure electrical continuity. If using pin holders for electrical testing, verify that the electrical connections between the pins, connectors, or test probes and the test equipment are secure and provide reliable electrical continuity. This helps ensure accurate and consistent test results. Alright, so we're done with the tips for using pin holders, and now we will proceed to maintenance and storage. So in maintenance, first, regular cleaning. Clean the pin holders periodically to remove the dust, the debris, or contaminants that may accumulate over time. Use a soft brush, compressed air, or a lint-free cloth to gently clean the pin holder surface, sockets, or compartments. Avoid using harsh chemicals or abrasive materials that could damage the pin holders. Inspect for damage. Routinely inspect the pin holders for any signs of damage, such as cracks, loose parts, or bent pins. If you notice any issues, repair or replace the pin holder as necessary to ensure proper functionality. Lubrication, if applicable. If your pin holder has moving parts or hinges, check if it requires lubrication according to the manufacturer's instructions. Apply a small amount of suitable lubricant to ensure smooth movement and prevent binding. ESD protection. If your pin holder is made of materials susceptible to electrostatic discharge or ESD, take appropriate precautions to prevent ESD damage. Avoid using pin holders in areas with high static electricity and consider using anti-static bags or foam insert for storage. And for storage, clean and dry storage environment. Store the pin holders in a clean, dry, and controlled environment. Excessive moisture or exposure to corrosive substances can damage the pin holders and affect their functionality. And then, organize and label. Keep the pin holders organized and properly labeled. to easily identify their contents or intended use. This helps streamline workflow and prevents confusion when retrieving specific pin holders for different projects or tasks. Separate compartments or dividers. If your pin holder has multiple compartments or sections, use dividers or separators to keep the pins or connectors separate and prevent tangling or mixing. Educate padding or cushioning. If the pin holder is fragile or has delicate parts, consider using suitable padding or cushioning materials to protect it from impacts or accidental damage during storage or transport. And then, secure storage containers. Use appropriate storage containers such as bins, boxes, or cabinets to protect the pin holders from dust, physical damage, or exposure to harsh environmental conditions. Ensure that the storage containers are properly sealed or latched to prevent moisture and contaminants from entering. And the last one, consider temperature and humidity. If the pin holders contain sensitive materials or electronic components, store them in an environment with controlled temperature and humidity levels to prevent deterioration or damage. So, by following these maintenance and storage practices, we can extend the lifespan of our pin holders, maintain their functionality, and ensure that they are readily available and in optimal condition when needed for electronics manufacturing or testing processes.